Energy and water challenges continue to weigh on South African businesses. Resilient entrepreneurs are pushing ahead and opening up new markets. Our business reporter, Ntokozo Khumalo, is part of our team at the BRICS Business Council Trade Fair in Midrand this morning, and she joins us now live. And Ntokozo, of course, it is a buzz with activity there, but I'm sure it's also never a bad time to have a cup of tea.
Absolutely not, Ayanda. I think with us running around between the expo and the panel sessions, a cup of traditional tea goes a long way. And of course, as we're focusing on the energy sector, it's also looking on how it affects businesses that are quite energy and water intensive. And joining me now is Retang Phaahla, who is the CEO of Setsong Traditional Tea Craft Makers. Thank you so much for talking to us. Talk us through your business a little bit. How does it work, when you started, and how being part of this summit is helping you access new markets?
Thank you so much. So we are Setsong Tea Crafters. We are a tea crafting business based in the rural areas of Sekhukhune, in a small village called Ramatlala Ramushibo. We work with women in rural areas who have a big amount of knowledge when it comes to indigenous plants and indigenous resources. And we work with these communities in order to leverage these resources, commercialize them and put them to market in order to create sustainable jobs within rural areas and build the rural economy. Being part of this platform is assisting us to access new markets, to identify potential distributors within these countries. We've already had so many talks with different stakeholders within the BRICS consortium, and what's really exciting is that we're also able to offer them a taste of South Africa, educate them about our culture, our heritage, and the potential that is here in this country.
Now, the sector that you're in, producing these products is quite energy and water intensive. How do you work around that and continue to have the resilience for business to continue to grow, especially when you're doing your work in rural communities, creating those jobs as well for the community? How do you remain resilient?
Well, you've got it, that energy and water are one of our major resources within manufacturing. But, there's so much potential in the market. We just try our best to knock on different doors of different government stakeholders and see where we can get assistance in terms of continuing to sustain our businesses and access new markets. It's really a challenge because it limits our production capacity, but together with the support that we get from different government departments, we're able to actually sustain ourselves and continue to access new markets. And we just really in the hope that some of these hurdles, we'll be able to overcome them in the long run in order to sustain our presence in the market. But it is a huge threat in terms of our long-term sustainability.
And Retang, this is a family-run business. Mommy is here with us. Talk us through what really inspired you as South Africans from rural communities to be like, here is something that is traditionally ours. Let us take it out there to the world, put in the work, see those stakeholders that we need to be collaborating with, which is really the theme of this year's BRICS Summit, deepening those collaborations. Talk us through running a family-owned business and growing a family-owned business and being the baby of the family, but the CEO of the business.
Yeah, I mean, the major driving force for us as a family was that we saw the need in the community. We saw that there's so much potential, but this is just untapped potential. Nobody has done the resources. The research, there's a great deal of women in the rural areas with so much knowledge, These are professors and scientists in their own right, but completely unrecognized. So we saw a need as a family to do something about it. So we got the community together. My brother is an asset-based community development specialist, and he ran a process of identifying all the assets within the community and found that our biggest asset was this indigenous knowledge. And then we identified 2 indigenous plants, Tepane and Dia, collaborated with research councils to find the science behind it, do the research on the benefits, and found that there's solutions not only for the community but for society at large, to our health issues. There's solutions for blood pressure, cholesterol, for hormone balance, and so we then developed this range and combined it with flavors that are appealing to modern consumers, and then developed a range of 8 different teas that speak to the holistic wellness of an individual. And we do this in partnership with the community. So it's really exciting for us to see jobs being created even for the youth within rural areas, and that's what just really keeps us up at night, ensuring that we can sustain this and ensuring that we can grow into not only bigger local markets but also international markets.
And Retang, just before I let you go, talking about those markets, Brazil certainly showing interest in South African tea, and as you said, you have those conversations ongoing. When we meet same time next year, what story are you hoping to be telling us?
I'm hoping to tell you that Setsong has successfully penetrated the local mainstream market. We hopefully will be in most of the bigger retailers, like we already are embarking on a journey with Food Lovers Market. But I'm hoping to say that we'll be forming distribution channels within all these BRICS countries. That we'll be saying that we're exporting our teas to Brazil, to Russia, to India, to China, and the rest. And to also tell you that we've doubled the amount of jobs that we've already created just by entering those new markets.
Retang, thank you so much for talking to us. Of course, that's Retang Phaahla, who is the CEO of Setsong African Tea Craft Makers, talking us through some of the opportunities that being part of this summit has really opened up for the organization. Of course, a rural business run by the family, creating opportunities in those communities, but Ayanda taking that business to those global markets. Of course, Brazil having and showing interest in getting more South African markets, accessing that market. It's back to you, Ayanda. I'll be looking for some more businesses to talk to, and we will be updating a little bit later on today.
All right, Ntokozo Khumalo sipping her way through the BRICS Business Forum in Midrand. For now, thanks very much indeed.